Greetings and welcome. Over these past several weeks, I've talked a great deal about every bit of My Little Pony Generation 5 news, pondering what I'd like to see in regards to the characters, the story, and the world of Equestria itself. But one aspect which has given many fans a bit of pause is that the main character will be an activist trying to make the world of Equestria a better place. And yes, that can either be really insightful or downright frustrating, depending on what the MLP staff have in mind. But I, for one, am looking forward to seeing this Sunny Star Scout as the next My Little Pony protagonist. Part of that comes from one particular line from the upcoming G5 film Synopsis. Sunny, a feisty and idealistic young Earth pony, is convinced there's still hope for this divided world. But her slightly misguided and often hilarious efforts to change hearts and minds have led to her being branded a misfit. Now that by itself certainly has potential, as I'd rather see an activist who doesn't always get things right compared to an activist who is only there to prove others are wrong. But let's combine that element with the possibility that Sunny is using Twilight's friendship journal in order to counter the paranoia and mistrust of the pony races. I spoke about this at length in a previous video, so I won't go too much further into it here. But given how ragged and worn this book seems to be, and how much of a fangirl for the main six Sunny appears to be, I'm really hoping this theory turns out to be true. But if Sunny's efforts end up being slightly misguided and often hilarious, what if that means she'll be misinterpreting some of the lessons she's reading from the friendship journal? And it is only through practical application that she discovers how much harder it can be to actually live those same lessons while encouraging others to follow suit. When you're only reading a short summary about the mishaps of each of the main six and how they overcome their struggles rather than seeing it firsthand, then attempting to replicate that same success only to find that in a deeply divided world it's never going to be as simple or as direct a solution? There would be plenty of potential for a main character who happens to also be an activist. Especially since, as the synopsis states, her efforts to change hearts and minds often end up with hilarious results leading her to be branded a misfit. I can also see a lot of potential lessons about how trying to follow the example of someone you've looked up to your entire life isn't always the best way to live your own life. Compare it to, say, Twilight Sparkle looking up to Celestia, and learning over time that her idol isn't as perfect as she first appeared to be. Except in the case of Sunny looking up to the main six, who are very likely long gone at this point. She only has stories for her to learn from. And that, in my opinion, would make for an interesting protagonist. Still, we'll have to wait and see whether the MLP staff have this in mind for Sunny's story. What do each of you think, though? How should Sunny Star Scout approach being an activist in a way which will be both entertaining and insightful for an audience? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.